Hello, hi everyone. Today we are finally at the last leg of Plenty Hackathon, and we are really excited to see the top 5 projects here in the demo. Bern and Om are our judges for the day. Bernd Oostrum, Om Malviya, who are the co-founders of Plenty DeFi. So, Bern and Om, quickly, would you guys like to share something about the hackathon before we start?
Yeah, sure. I'm really excited to see the different projects. Looking forward to see what you guys have built in the last few months, and hopefully we can continue to build and improve the projects that you started with. So yeah, excited to have you join the Tezos DeFi and NFT ecosystem.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a while since this hackathon has been running, and I understand building on top of Plenty and the ideas that we all shared with you. You guys have worked on that, so yeah, pretty excited to see what you have built, and more excited to take them forward. Work with all of you to keep you engaged in this ecosystem. Yeah, and we'll be having more conversation afterwards about all of these projects, so pretty stoked for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing such enthusiasm and excitement with the participants. And we believe that since we kind of provided all the technical support and workshop sessions to the participants, we are definitely going to see great results today. So let me just explain the rules. So basically, every team will have 15 minutes to present, and there's a proper presentation, like a pitch deck presentation, where they'll cover everything in sequence, followed by 5 minutes of Q&A. And if there is like, if a team takes more than 15 minutes, then we'll have to cut them in the middle. But mostly, I believe that the teams are well versed and they'll be able to cover the content within that duration. So without further ado, I would like to invite our first team. They have worked on the problem statement, Plenty UI with TypeScript. So welcome. You can start sharing a screen. Dipanshu, I think you are the one, right?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, Dipanshu, please.
Ma'am, you have disabled the sharing.
Vaishnavi? Can you enable the sharing, screen sharing? Okay.
Yeah, check now.
Yeah, I can share now.
Yeah.
You may start now.
Okay. Good evening, judges. Let me present you my my project for the Plenty DeFi hackathon. The topic for my hackathon was the Plenty UI with TypeScript. It's a lightweight Plenty DeFi website with it's friendly for the new developers and the open source developer that they can contribute, and also for the new users that are coming to their Plenty DeFi website. So what does it solve? So a website isn't good if it doesn't come with the validations and ease of access to the developer. Like if a new developer is coming and working on the project, so he needs to have a ease and a kick so that he can start with the work, and he can understand the project that he's working on. And JavaScript, being the most preferred language for the developers to code, all contains vulnerability. So to fix that, I integrated the TypeScript on the website. And secondly, the company success comes with the user experience of that it provides to the consumer, and it plays a significant role. Plenty UI has some great user experience, and I divided the problem in two parts. Firstly, the developer convenience, and secondly, the website experience. So for the developer convenience, uh, I have rewritten the code in the TypeScript and the Tailwind CSS so that the developers don't have to maintain the style sheets if we are scaling the website. And on the website experience, when we come on a website, the dark mode plays a significant role, and 20DeFi has spent a lot of time on building that dark mode. But when I first visited the website, it was I have to dive into the settings button and find it find it where I can find this mode. Then I have written the code for the themes, that if in future the Plenty DeFi wants to make different themes or user customized theme, the user can easily customize them. Just have to switch some buttons. Then how it improves the experience. Then we have each to the customer to switch between different modes. TypeScript validation so that you don't result entering your name as 123. No use of drop downs and easy to find what you need. So when I visited the website, I saw that the navigations are basically based on the drop downs. And when it comes to the mobile experience, drop downs are not preferred as a user experience. Then as a new developer, any new developer can are invited to contribute and with less overwhelming code. So when I started to code and started reverse engineering the Plenty.DeFi GitHub, then I faced a lot of errors and it was so overwhelming for me to start with the code with myself. Then challenges I ran into. The most challenging part of the challenge was to understand the code base of the Plenty.DeFi project. And as a beginner for me, it was quite overwhelming. Then when I was working with the TypeScript, the libraries changed, and TypeScript dependencies have to reinstalled on in the project. And the major problem that I faced was the Plenty DeFi website wasn't working on my local environment. Then studying different libraries so that it can support the TypeScript. And also some of the libraries used by Plenty DeFi don't support the TypeScript. So let me begin and show the demo of the website that I built. So this is my website that I built. So this is exactly somewhat a clone of the Plenty DeFi website, but built on TypeScript and the Tailwind CSS. Okay, so
I'm only seeing
okay,
your
just a second. Let me switch.
presentation.
Yeah, I forgot to do that. Just a second. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is basically a clone of the Plenty DeFi website, but built on TypeScript and the Tailwind CSS. And the colors you are seeing on the website are configured so that we don't have to manage them again and again. Because when I read the code base of the Plenty DeFi, it was cluttered in different SAS sheets. So I break them down into 5 to 6 different colors and made a theme for that. Then the website is itself a responsive website, and you can easily see that. And secondly, we have a trade on which we can easily switch the tokens and swap them. So this is what the demo for the website. I wasn't able to complete the whole website, but I tried my best to make it as much as possible. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dipanshu. I think we can open the stage for Q&A now.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Yeah, really nice, man. So what are the libraries that you weren't able to figure out?
Yeah,
that are-
yeah. When I started working with it, first of all, the React Redux was overwhelming for me in TypeScript because there were so many errors I was facing, and secondly, uh, the React tables that the Plenty DeFi has used to work with the TypeScript. Am I audible?
Yeah. And how much time did it took for understanding the code base for you?
It took me around half a month.
Wow. Okay.
Like how many pages have you converted into TypeScript?
I have converted 2 pages.
Okay, which is like the
The
landing page and the swap
and the
page.
trade swap page.
And
Okay.
do you have any benchmark or something like that for performance improvements that, okay,
Performance improvement, I don't have any because but I can test that if I have the backend also, because there are some tweaks in that, like how a backend is performing with the front end.
okay.
Like, could you highlight the changes that you have made to the pages, right? Could you just show the repository and the major changes that you have done for the month? That would be great.
Yeah, sure. Just a second. There were no major UI changes. There were just a few tweaks that navigation, the top navigation, don't have the drop down now, and the just a second. Let me share my screen again. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have removed the drop downs, and then the that theme can be switched from here only, from the top navigation only. These are the major changes, and also when I check the responsiveness of the website. So on the Plenty DeFi website, these cards weren't performing well. Like there was a screen size where these were not responsive.
So how much work do you think it is now? Like you did a lot of groundwork. So how much work do you think it is to fully migrate everything to TypeScript?
Yeah. So if I started working on it, it would take me to learn the React Redux for that in the TypeScript and implement it. Rest the front end, I think, can be made easily. Like you want the duration or something else?
Yeah, so you've seen it took you a while to get familiarized with the code base.
Yeah, because it
I
wasn't actually working on my local system, and I can't inspect with that. So I have to visit the Plenty DeFi website and then inspect the code, what actually happening in the background, like that.
Okay, and so you've made these pages, and what was the reason for not making the header? Was there also like a library issue there, or
Which header?
the header menu? The header menu.
The drop down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a talk that if we use the drop down menu on the mobile, like we have to go through 3 different clicks to navigate to different pages. So if a user can trade, and after that he can switch to different pages, like I can see that we have swap and stable swap. So he can redirect from here only. He don't need that 3 clicks to navigate to stable swap.
And how do I go to the tokens page?
That I forgot to add.
No worries, no worries. No, yeah, I just want to know like how much work is it still pending to get all the other pages to TypeScript? Because preferably we get the entire code with TypeScript.
I think it's 3 pages remaining from my side that requires the major work. Rest I think is done, but like the structure is done, then we can move forward. Like I was thinking to work more, but the deadline came and I have to submit it.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Anyone else have questions?
Like, could you show the GitHub changes, right? It would be great for us to validate like how much major shift, is there for our code base.
GitHub changes, just a second.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
me Plenty Hackathon. So this is the like structure. I have kept the file structure as same as possible. Just remove the SAS files. They are removed. Like we don't have to manage them.
And like, could you, just translate like to the file, like the files that have been changed, and what was the code earlier and what's the code now, like those kind of differences.
I don't have cloned the Plenty.
Okay.
I don't have taken the code base of the Plenty DeFi
Okay.
website. I've rewritten the whole code again.
Okay.
With a new project.
Cool. Anything else?
Nice.
All right. I think
Yeah, I think that's that.
Yeah, if there are no other questions, I think Anmol Dipanshu will move on to another presentation. Thank you so much, Dipanshu. I am sure it was brilliant and the team will get in touch with you later as well. Okay. Thank you. So now we'll move on to the next presentation, right? And the name of the presentation is Manchurian Hot Dog, CFMM, and it's on 3 token CFMM. So it's about a simple swap mechanism for 3 token liquidity pool. I would like to welcome Pratik for the next presentation.
It's actually Aditya.
Aditya, sorry. Aditya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can share your screen. Are you able to do it? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So our team consists of me and Tejasvi and Guneet, but he is facing some severe network issues, so he is unable to join. The goal for us was to think about a method that would go over the conventional sum and product optimization for implementing CFMMs. For example, consider a simple summation formula. It might produce zero slippage, but it does not provide infinite liquidity. Also, the arbitrator can drain some of the reserves if he wants to, and then the whole pool will fall apart. Consider now the product based. Now we get infinite liquidity, but the variance is not constant and might result in large changes even for small transactions, thus creating larger slippage. Thus, our goal was to provide an algorithm which was more liquidity sensitive and provided a user-friendly trading space by eliminating all the middlemen. Now, we can swap the token and without any delay, we can get what the price for the swap token will be. The token pool is also isolated from all the social political scenario which changes around us. These scenarios highly affect the conventional marketplaces, but ours is only our token dependent. Thus, the utility function we chose was the product of the tokens minus the mean. This function was chosen because it had the quality of being linear in some intervals, in certain intervals. For small intervals, it was linear, and for large intervals, it handled it carefully. For x equal to y equal to z, we get an place where x is the root. So this is the acceptable condition for assets that are ought to be pegged together. The functioning of the program goes as, if I give the program some chain inputs. For example, I wanted to go from token 1 to 2 to 3. So our mechanism will first convert from token 1 to token 2, then from token 2 to token 3. What this will do is, considering only 2 swap at a time, the mean difference is inversely proportional to the liquidity present at the time of transaction. Thus, if we consider the value x to be very large, then 1 by x will tend to 0, and the change will almost be constant. The challenges we faced were daunting, but our team was never phased, and we tried our best to achieve them. The utility function can sometimes yield negative values. Our function yields negative values in the case when the token amount for all is less than 1. So we dealt with it by restricting the token amount to be greater than equal to 1. The curve can also be made flatter using complex sum and multiplication series for and also n-dimensional functions, so that for 3 token we can transport it to n token swap exchange. But we stuck to a more simpler approach. The CFMM, all the CFMMs, they incur large slippage cost and are thus considered better for small order sizes. But for large order sizes, for our formula is more liquidity sensitive, we deal it better. Thus, given the time and the condition, the ups and downs we faced, we stand before you with an optimal solution. So now we were able to deploy our contract to the testnet, and it was working fine for all, but for one case it failed with lack of entry points. The code that we wrote was considered all the token swap exchanges, and the storage was updated according to our needs. FA2 token were considered because for FA12 token we had to implement 4 more token contracts, but for FA2 only one contract is sufficient. Now the code where the main swap happens is, we considered all the possible cases in a rather crude manner. So for 1 to 2, 2 to 1, these all cases were considered, and we were then finally able to compile the whole thing. So that's all from my side.
Awesome. Question. Let's open the stage for question answers. Bernd,
So the code you shown, so have you edited this code or have you written this entirely by yourself?
We took some motivation from your 2 token code, but we written it entirely by ourselves. We didn't clone your Git repository or anything.
Okay, can you share the GitHub link here meanwhile?
Yeah.
Anmol, Bernd, meanwhile, if you have any questions.
Yeah, I would love to hear on Mool,
Yeah.
DeFi wizard, sir.
So yeah, I had a call with last night. So I think the ad liquidity isn't working, right? So you can't execute a trade as of now. I understand.
Yes, sir. But as you directed, we modified the code.
But still,
Included the 3 token with their IDs so that we can try to interact with them.
okay. And how are you, basing like you are handling test cases even if the swap isn't working? Like if a basic swap isn't being able to execute, how could like we trust that the edge cases are being handled?
The edge cases for the negative values, we prefix that that for each of the XYZ, they must be greater than 1.
Okay.
So we have an error handling for that.
Okay. So some code you have taken from what you could say that CFMM Arthur or checkers repo, and then you have implemented your own logic. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Like I can see all these errors. These are all from
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The error were taken directly from that.
the errors and the entry point, like cache is FA2 cache, FA12, LQT. These are the variables that gets used in checker framework. Okay. I think that's and for the logic part, I think Anmol can check what exactly has been implemented. But yeah, overall. So what do you have to say? Do you have any questions, Anmol and Shu? I guess I'll just rely on you.
No, like the thing is like we looked in the curve, like fine, but like needs to be more optimized, even the mathematical aspect, because there is no application coefficient also, right? So sometimes the application coefficient is always required in one tool to mitigate such scenarios like when some of the tokens get depegged, or you want to increase the flatness of the curve. Those kind of things should also be taken into consideration.
Okay. And what are the challenges that you faced, Aditya, while building this?
Sir, the challenges were first to think of a stable of a stable sort working formula, and then it was all to understand how it works. And for we were fairly new in this field, so it was one of the major challenges that we faced.
Okay. And your experience with Lego?
Lego as a language can have more resources, and their community can be more widespread. When we were stuck in some code, we had to dig deep into the documentation itself rather than referring to some Stack Overflow website or some other resource. While the team was always there to help us, therefore we pulled ourselves through all those challenges. All
Okay. Okay. Got it. All right. I don't have any more questions.
Can we see the interactions, the smart, like in Better Call Dev? Try to do some trades, or that's not possible.
no, actually there was some entry point issue. We are just able to.
Okay. You're not audible, Aditya.
Hello. Hello. Is what?
Did we lose Aditya?
Yeah, I think we lost him. Maybe.
All right, next one.
Sure. So we'll move on to the next presentation, and it's about defining art. It's a generative. Welcome, team. Over to you now.
Hey, hi everyone. Very good evening. I am Sarthak from Defining Art team. I have my teammates here, Nopur, Ankush, and Pratik. So I'll share my screen quickly and let's go over the project. So yeah, our team is Defining Art, and it's a generative art based NFT project. So there are a lot of terms here, generative art and NFT project. So let's go over these one by one. So the problem statement that we have worked on is that we need to create NFTs as generative art, and which are then voted upon using X Plenty, and then the earnings are burned, and a fraction of them goes to the X Plenty holders. So with the principle of decentralization in our mind, we wanted to make sure that the images that are generated do not have any influence. uh, Even the AI is not influenced to create a specific set of images in a specific way. And that is why what we chose as our means to decentralize is was using tweets, because tweets will all mother whenever we ask for tweets, whenever we try to get tweets that have been you know that are most retweeted, we would always get new tweets from different people having different context, talking about different things. So it will be always, and uh, to add to it, it will be always that is trending. So all of that will add to decentralization and to giving our AI a text that is always unique to make images upon. And it is also we always get text, and it is also moderated mostly. So all of these things made Twitter as a good source for a project for getting text. So this is the approach that we have taken. So we have a backend that gets us the tweets, and these tweets are sent to AI so that we can generate art from it. Once the art is generated, we store it in IPFS, and then whenever a user visits our website, they can connect their wallet using Beacon, and they can get today's AQ. AQ is artistic question, based upon their X Plenty balance, and then they can spend it upon whatever art they like the most. According, so if they like any art more, they can vote more AQ. If they like anything less, they might choose to not even vote on it. Depends upon what everyone thinks of when they see art. So the AI that we have used is using VQGAN plus Clip. So this is a fairly new system that was launched last year itself, and it uses VQGAN to generate images and CLIP Clip to verify that the image is closer to the text that we have given as input. So for text to art, as I mentioned, that what we have done is we use VQGN plus Clip. This image explains it very clearly. VQGN generates an image, and CLIP tells it that uh, how much does the image represent what is written in the prompt or the text that is given to it. Uh, then based on the feedback that was given to VQGN by Clip, it generates the next image in the next iteration, and then Clip can tell us that, okay, now this image looks good. So there are limited iterations that we do, and in those iterations, whichever image is the most matching to the text that we have is sent as the response from AI. um, Coming to the design of the system, so once a user has connected their wallet, they can see the amount of plenty that they have and the AQ balance that they have. They can click on start voting, or they can click on get today's AQ. So let's say they click on get today's AQ, the smart contract in the backend uh, directly checks with the X Plenty contract that how much of an X Plenty balance does this user have. If the user has any X Plenty balance, the same amount of AQ is credited into the user's account, and then they can start voting. They can see all the images, and then they can start voting. Whenever they vote, a transaction is made so that they can commit to that transaction, and that's data can be written into the smart contract. So AQ balance of a user and the image votes, how many votes we have given to every user, every which user has voted for which image, and how many votes have been given to each image. All of this data is stored in smart contract itself. The frameworks that we have used. So for smart contract, we have used SmartPy. For AI, we have used Python 3 as the language, VQGA and Clip as the model. OpenCV we have used for increasing the resolution of the image that we get. So we have used super resolution from OpenCV, and ngrok has been used as a server with a DNS so that we can call the AI. For front end, we have used React.js. Taquito and Beacon we have used from the boilerplate code that was given. So that helped us a lot. It was a really great head start for us for the front end. And we have used Netlify to host it. For the backend, we have used Express as a framework, and we have used Heroku to host it, and IPSF as a Web3 storage for storing the images. So let's see the demo. So I will first take you through the website itself. So just disconnect the wallet. So this is how the website is shown to anyone who comes first for the first time on the website. So they can connect their wallet. So I have Temple wallet. So as soon as my wallet is connected, I see two screens. So sorry, I see this screen wherein there is a staking and there is voting. Currently, this stake plenty and unstake X plenty, they take you to the prod site of plenty. However, we plan to add in the transactions so that the user can stake and unstake from here itself. So this is the plenty balance of the user that is shown. So if I refresh it, I will reload all the plenty balance that the user has. Similarly, the AQ balance that a user has. So I can reload this. So I can click on get today's AQ. So now we are again writing a transaction to the blockchain so that we can get today's AQ. So I currently have 2x plenty in my wallet, as we can see. So I have 2x plenty in my wallet. So 2 AQ was added into my account, and now I have 3 total AQ. So let's get voting. So we are loading images. So images are stored in IPSF, so they can take some time to load. We also load the votes of a user. So we want to prevent a user from voting again and again on the same image. So that is why the image is currently loading. So you can see that I have already voted on this image 2AQ. So I cannot vote again. But let's say this image or this image, I already voted here as well.
Sorry to interrupt, but the text for the image is on the left side.
Yeah. So this is the text that was used to generate the images. So you can see that the image text.
And where do you get this text from?
So we are getting this text directly from Twitter APIs. So we have used Twitter APIs, Twitter developer APIs to get the tweet texts.
Okay, and how do you get it? Like, do you take like, okay, what's trending today, or just random?
Right. So no, it's not random. So what we have done is for an entire year, we have added category for every day. So there is a business, there is sports, there is entertainment, and all of these technology. And this is randomly generated for the for entire year. And for some special events, let's say Independence Day or Republic Day, we change it in the database. And once we have changed it, whenever, so I'll show you the API that we use. So this is the API that we use, get tweets for date. So this API does two things. One, it will fetch all the tweets in the backend itself. So our backend is deployed on Heroku. So you can see it will get all the tweets for that date, and it will also give the tweet to the AI so that we can generate it. So I'll just show it. This is an asynchronous process because generating images in AI takes some time. So you can see the request has started here. So in the logs, I can see that get tweets for date was logged here. And in the AI, if I see, so AI has started getting the image, the tweet text. So here the tweet text that it got was, all jokes aside, if McGregor bought a football cup, they would be forced. So this is the entire text that has been given to the AI, and now the AI is generating images. So you can see it has even added a wrestling ring for McGraw, and the Manchester City or Manchester United, I guess. Man U. Yeah, Man U's logo is also there. So, right. And coming to the images here, right? So you can, so we have added this animation. This, it gives a feel that superficial feel that these were generated using AI. So it was just
We've used 3JS for this.
so let's say if I want to vote, okay, let's vote 2 for this. So I can submit it, so it shows me that voting is in progress. Transaction.
And what does voting do? Let's say I voted 2, so whoever gets the most votes, what happens with that?
Right. So so we wanted to keep all the process as automatic, but we were not able to find any test net auction, NFT auction sites. But essentially, once the day is complete, once a day is complete, we from the smart contract storage, we can get that what image got the most number of votes. So from image VPs, we can see that currently this has 0 updates, this has 9 updates, this has 4 updates. So we can get that which image has the maximum number of votes, and then depending upon the votes, we can we can then auction that we can then mint that image on any NFT auction sites and put it up for auction. Once we get the earnings, they will be used for explain, like a fraction of them would be used for sending into the, for covering all the expenses that have happened, like minting expense and all of that, and the remaining would be burnt. So this is the AI. It is again, it is generating images. All the images are once generated. So what we have also done is that to know that if any image was generated or not, and how does it finally look like. Once an image is generated, we email it to this email ID. So you can see that this image was successfully generated. So this is the text that was used, and this is how the image finally looks like. You can see another image as well. Yeah, while the images are loading, if there are any, just complete this. So yeah, this is
You can go ahead with the rest of the presentation, or is it finished?
I believe, yeah, so the team and yeah, thank you.
Okay.
This
Is
is
that
our
all?
smart contract. So these are the interaction points. So this is mostly like a FA12 token itself, but we have this release today's VP. Receive X-Plenty balance. This is sent to the X-Plenty contract as the function which will get the this function will get the X-Plenty of the user, and then there is vote on image ID which we'll be using to vote. So there is the image ID that is a string, and the weight that we want to vote. So this is the image that was generated. So so currently we are using like Google Collaboratory for AI. So because it requires like 10 GB, around 10 GB of GPU to run this. And so currently the iterations are pretty less. There are 110 iterations only. So, but yeah, like the images generated are sometimes pretty fabulous. So, and we can see here that if any image was not successful, then we'll also get that we were unable to generate. So what we can then do is that we can directly take this text, give it to AI, it will generate the image for us, and once we get the image, we can directly upload it into IPSF. um, S7 it was successful. This is the back end that is running. This is the front end. Yeah, front end is, so once the voting is all complete.
Okay. No, pretty cool, pretty cool. Looks like you guys have put a lot of efforts. So what do you think in terms of next? Let's say what do you think? How do you want to take
Right.
it?
So the next steps here would be, as I mentioned, we would first like to. So right now, if you see here, uh, there is this learn more that is currently in development stage. So I would like to write docs here. That is one thing. So we would like to give more information to the user about how the images are generated, um, and stuff like that. So that is definitely one. As for small little enhancements, we would also like to bring the staking, unstaking, all of that into this platform itself. So the user does not has to go to a separate platform to stake their plenty, so that they can get more X plenty and start voting on their images. Uh, Next, we also would like to, so currently we do have the option for a user to, like from a backend or API perspective, I can directly go ahead and give any text here and the AI will start generating image for me. So we would like that for the user also, that they can be given a portal or a way here so that they can start, so that they can give their text and the whatever text they want, and they can get an image generated for it, for whatever transaction fees it might take. And then we can use that for one that would be like, we can either use that for as a commercialization of the product, or and then that can also be added into the auction. And as for AI, so currently this is running on a shared collaborative space, so we would also like to improve this.
Okay.
So I have tried with, so currently as you see that the images are not too good because the iterations are very less, but I have tried with a higher number of iterations. So this is one image that was generated for Hello World. I have got other images that were generated. So this one was generated for black and white. The text was just black and white, and this is what it got me. This was one of the iterations what the AI took to generate this in black and white itself. So this was a piece. This was sunset. So the images, this was sunset in a child's drawing. So there are different text prompts that we can add to make the AI generate images in a specific way.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, we would like to add transfer learning to this system.
No, very interesting, very interesting. Any questions? Bernd, Anmol, Anshu, Ajit?
Yeah, super impressed with what you guys have done. The UI looks nice. A lot of work was done. great presentation skills. What I wonder is like how expensive is it to run this system?
Currently, this system is running at no expense.
At
No expense. So because
Everything is open source.
Heroku is used, so that is free. For front end, it is used as a Netlify is being used. For AI, we are using the Google Collaboratory, so that is free. So I think the only thing that requires expense is the AI. And if we use a cloud AI for this, like Google Collab, it would be only around, I guess, even the Pro goes to somewhere around $100 a month. And we can even do it with the premium. There's Pro and premium, so there's one which is lesser, so that goes up to, I guess, $13 or $14 per month, which gives us higher GPU processing speeds. And otherwise, even this is fine. Just that the images will take a lot to generate. Like this image took around half an hour to generate.
Okay, so
But
if I have to trim down the time and increase the resolution or the quality,
right,
I can do that using cloud side, right?
right. Also, so there are, so as I mentioned that currently the images, so you see that this image is very small here, but this is comparatively bigger. So that is because we are using something called as super resolution, which is done by OpenCV. So we can even improve on that. So currently I'm using a model that gives us instant results, but it does not increase the resolution too much. I found a website which is called upscalepics.com. So they give us almost instantaneous results, and but the images are way better. So you see, if I look at this PNG and this JPEG, so this is a small, like this is only 448 cross 448, whereas this is 1792. So this I used, this tool I used for generating that increase, and the final images look great. So no pixelation and nothing. So I believe they are using ESDR for super resolution. I think I'm taking too much time.
Very cool, very cool. I mean, yeah, it's very good idea, and I'm assuming. Can you all tell us a little bit about your background and how and are you like, do you really into it and you want to keep working on this project?
Sarthak, it's time to confess. Tell them the truth. So I don't want to interrupt, but this is our first Web3 project we worked. It's like Sarthak, me, Nupur, and Ankush. Yeah, there is. So that's the confession that I have. And so I have been working as a front-end engineer for the last 2 years. Ankush, I think, has probably the same experience. Sarthak and Nupur are seniors to us basically. So we've been we are working full time along with working on this project.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, I believe given the correct resources and enough time, we would definitely like to look into this project more.
Cool, definitely. All right. Any other questions, guys?
One more thing I want to ask is what images are you using currently for voting? Where are you picking those images up from?
So the AI generates images, and then we use those images itself. So right now, these images are not being shown for voting, is because I had set a date, like I had hard coded a date, so that the images for that date are only shown. But if I make it like for a previous date, so what we do is we like work on T-1 date. That is because we would like to, so on 27th, we, let's say if I'm talking about 27th January, So from 26th January, all the tweets related to Republic Day can be collated and we can generate images based on that. So we kind of work on T-1. So
Okay.
and
So
yeah.
those images are also getting generated from some text, and after people vote, okay, once people vote, then you again combine all those things, or you just put that image for auction.
No, so we can once the day is over, we can see that which image got the most votes, and then we can put that image for auction.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
So from 10 images, whatever image was voted maximum times, we can put that image up for auction.
Okay.
I think I should.
Understood. No, I was thinking of brainstorming on multiple things instead of after voting, if I mean, how to retrieve those images and how to make it more visually appealing and all that stuff. But yeah, got the point.
So for retrieving the images, we have the image ID in the smart contract for which the images for which the votes were done, and from the database we have a database wherein we maintain the image ID to its IPSF link. So from the IPSF link, then we can get the image.
Awesome, man. Like, this is something which after some tweaking we can take it live as well. So pretty interested and exciting to see how this would turn up.
Yeah, thank you.
I agree, definitely. This is worth taking on mainnet.
Yeah, and just a suggestion from me also, I think you can also brainstorm on what should be the use case for the maximum voted image. I think there's a lot of scope.
Absolutely.
Putting on auction one, but you can do other stuff as well with it.
Right. So one thing that we would also like to add is I mentioned about transfer learning. So currently this project does not use the votes that was like the AI is not aware that voting is happening. So we would also like to introduce that into the AI using transfer learning or using Q learning, that this image was given this vote. So this is how you should generate other images. So if we can do that, think it would be even better.
Yeah.
Nice stuff.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, team. Thank you for the presentation. We'll move on to the next presentation now. It's about Plenty Discord NFT bot, a Discord bot that rewards active users in the Plenty Discord server with free NFTs. So over to you, team.
Hi, team. How's everyone?
Hey, Udit.
Yo, Udit.
Am I audible?
Long time no see.
Long time no see. Yeah, that's true. All right, so I'll be sharing my screen just a second. Right.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, is it visible? All right. So, good evening and welcome to our presentation of the Plenty Discord NFT bot that me and my teammate Tarun have made especially for our Plenty Discord server. So, a Discord bot that rewards active users in Plenty Discord server with free NFTs. That is the problem statement that we are going to try and solve. So, let me guide you through the problem statement. A Discord server can get slow at times, and it is hard to keep users engaged with all the time with games and activities. Like even in popular NFT servers, there are sometimes slow patches when the mods or the community members are sleeping. So what is there to keep the users busy and getting the server active all the time with meaningful conversation about plenty, price talk, what's the future and what is going on? So yeah, that is where we came up with the solution and the for the problem statement, that what we will do is create a bot that will first we are using Me6 bot that is already involved in almost all the servers and as well as Plenty Discord server to get the rank of the person, and then he or she will be able to mint the NFT. Let me guide you through it. So first of all, it works in coordination with MEE6 bot. Admins can use all commands of MEE6, like if somebody is spamming, so we can directly ban them. We can directly take away their level. We can reward level to people who are actually being helpful but have less time. We can demote, promote members and everything from MEE6. Second, we have filters out non-eligible members and prevent multiple minting from the same Discord ID address. So let's say I have an ID and I keep on chatting. I have already claimed my NFT for level 10. But then I keep on reclaiming. So to prevent that, we have also put in checks. And similarly, what if I use the same wallet address by creating multiple Discord IDs and just keep on spamming and just keep on gaining level and getting the NFT? So we have kept a check as that only unique Discord ID as well as unique wallet ID will be accepted for the mint. I'll be showing that in later. All right, so how it works. So let me guide you through the flow. So a new user joins the server and starts with level 0 and 0 XP. The user gains XP by text messages, voice activity, and sending images on regular intervals. That is genuine activity and not bot activity. Then there are 5 level milestones which the users will be able to claim his or her free NFT from the bot. So let's say I reach level 10 and I've claimed my NFT. So now what do I not have any incentive to talk more or share my ideas? No. So what we have done is once you reach level 10, you are able to mint one NFT. Then once you keep on going and reach level 20, you're able to mint another NFT from a different collection that is rarer. Then similarly for level 30 and level 40 and level 50. So as you keep on going higher in the levels, you get different NFTs that you can claim and then put up on object or any marketplace that they like, and they can maybe sell it off on the secondary market or keep it as a memorabilia for the Plenty Discord server. Yes, and then when the second milestone is achieved, user will be able to claim NFTs from the same address. Yes, so here the validations come into play. So like if I'm over level 20 and I have only minted for level 10, I can easily mint with the same Discord ID and same wallet address. All right, so let me guide you through the challenges that we ran. So integrating the MEE6 with our bot, because we didn't want to create a new bot that any user who wants this utility have to invite into their server and then that bot would keep track. So instead, what we did, we found an API that works with MEE6 bot on any server, and it does not require any password, any passphrase, and it is completely open source. Secondly, we had a little issue with the Tezos library. So since our Discord bot is completely written on Python, we needed a Python library to interact with the blockchain. So Tezos library had a very less documentation. And then finding a crowd sale contract on SmartPy was a little hard to find and what to do and how to go about it, but we figured that out. And let's hop on to the live demo right now. Just unshare. Okay, is my screen visible? Is my desktop visible?
Yep. Links to projects,
Yes,
right?
yes.
The desktop, like Windows 11 desktop.
Our desktop is visible. Correct.
All right. So let me just hop onto my Discord. So this is our testing server that we created for the project. So let me first show you that the bot is already online, as you can see here. I'll first introduce you to the help. So as you can see in our bot, the Plenty NFT bot, we have 4 commands. One is display embed, second one is help, third is level, and the fourth is mint. So the first command is the display embed, which we can use to greet the server, greet the user in any way we want. Like currently we have set up Plenty NFT bot. Welcome to the Plenty NFT bot. You have been of great value to our server. To appreciate your participation, we want to reward you with a free NFT. These messages can always be customized and for the user requirement. And here you can see minimum level requirement is level 10 and type exclamation point mint your Tezos wallet address for the bot to work. Second command I would like to show is the level command. So if a user wants to check their level and their Discord ID, so as you can see, this is my specific unique user ID for Discord. So there can be many Aris or many Taruns in the Discord, but this ID is always unique. So that is how we track if a user has already minted or not. And this is my level. So let me first send a message via Potter. So Potter is a alternate account that is under level 10. So once he sends the message, as you can see, the level of Potter is only level 6. So now if Potter tries to mint in the Discord server while interacting with it, he will get an error. Let me just, yeah. So he will get an error. You do not meet the minimum requirements for a mint. So as Potter account is under level 10, he cannot mint. Second use case, the test case we found was like it is my ID. So I have already minted it first while I was testing the wallet. So if I go ahead and if I write, let me just get, yeah. So if I go ahead and write this command, wait a minute. So yeah, if I go ahead and write this command, Plenty NFT bot is going to take this command, check in the contract storage if my Discord ID or my is already in the storage. If not, then I'll get a successful mint. But if it is already existing in the storage, then the reply will be here as user already has an existing entry. This is if I've already claimed for level 10, but I haven't claimed for level 20. And finally, this is a third ID that is actually above level 10 and hasn't actually claimed an NFT before. So we'll be claiming NFT live. As you can see, Tarun's ID is at level 12 and this is his unique user ID. And once Tarun sends a message to mint, what will happen is our Discord bot will take the address, it's going to use Tezos, and then it's going to go to our crowd sale contract. It's going to mint an NFT that I'll show the art later. It's going to mint NFT, airdrop it to Tarun's account. It's going to store Tarun's user ID and Tarun's wallet in the contract storage as already minted. And Tarun will get a very good and very creative NFT that we created. Let me just wait for the reply. Yeah, so as you can see, mint is successful. Check your wallet. So let me just hop on to, okay, just a sec. Yeah, so this is Kukai and this is the wallet. So as you can see, there are currently no NFTs here. Let me just reload it. Currently, this is on Hangzhou testnet, so this is not on mainnet, but yeah. Yeah, as you can see, we have received an unknown token. We're going to wait for the metadata to load from blockchain to Kukai wallet. Till then, let me, as you can see, the mint has been successful. So this is our Pinata file where we have uploaded JSON file of all the NFTs that we made and our images that we have already uploaded on Pinata. Pinata is also acting up. So let me show you the code base till metadata is being refreshed. So this is our GitHub repo. We have the main.py that is the brains of our bot. This is our modified NFT, which is basically a fit contract that is modified to allow a crowd sale contract to mint as well instead of administrator. And this is our final crowd sale contract written in SmartPy that uses everything like admin, developer, template, IPFS, and it has a ledger that stores the address and the value of how much NFTs have been minted, and Discord stores the key, like the unique key of Discord ID and the value. And then there are functions, mint functions, and all that. Yeah, this is the brains of our Pi. So Tezos was a challenge. We certainly can use something like Taquito for like in JS, but since Python, like Discord bots are in Python, so we've been using these. And these are different levels and certification, like under level 10, so it doesn't meet the requirements. and similarly for all the other use cases. Let me just show better call dev as well. Yeah, if I refresh here. Yeah, so 2 minutes ago, mint NFT was called, and an internal with the address this and Discord ID this, and our mint index changed to 5 to 6, airdrop index changed 5 to 6, and the internal mint for the FA2 contract was also called directly. And finally, as you can see on the Hangzhou testnet, we have received plenty Discord NFT hash 5, which on showing has an interesting metadata with different rarities, traits, and plenty logo. This has been created with the hashlibs generator, and that is how we created the metadata and the NFTs. And all right. I think that's all from my side. Any questions?
Wow, thanks, Udit. Great presentation. I think we can open the stage for Q&A now. Bernd, Om, Anmol.
Are you generating a single NFT, or I mean the same image with multiple editions given to each level, or are you using some generative art there as well?
Yeah, so we had two approaches when we decided to take up the project. One was once the user reaches level 20, the same NFT gets upgraded with a change in metadata via a transaction, something similar to the pets.xyz, Tezos pets.xyz, in which the egg hatched and the pet grew. Second approach was that we create 5 different contracts so that we can control the rarity of each and every NFT that we are going to give out. So for level 10, let's say we have a supply of 10,000. For level 20, we drop the supply for the first 5,000 people. Then for level 30, we drop the supply from 5,000 to 2,500 and so on. So first, the rarity of the said NFT increases and user has motive and incentive to go ahead and get that level. Secondly, we can also introduce rarities concept in a particular collection. So let's say, but since all the users are at the same level, we cannot give one of them a rare NFT and another them as a very common NFT. But
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, for that we have implemented 5 different contracts which have 5 different rarity levels and 5 different max amount of NFT that can be minted. And currently these are just testing images of the art. You can use any art that satisfy the criteria of plenty, maybe looks better than this and has plenty logo as well.
Got it. So all the use cases, I mean, is it all coded, or is it the thought process, like all the possibilities that you're just mentioning, right?
Yeah, all of these are coded. All we have to do is just finalize the art for different contracts. Like currently we have just finalized it for first contract, but everything is coded. We just need to finalize the art, put it up on Pinata, and just change the contract address.
Okay.
Just we need to change the contract address and we'll be good to go.
Sounds good.
Yeah, super nice, guys. Yeah, impressed with the work once again. Like really useful. Really fits the use. It's immediately implementable. I don't know if that's even if that's a word, but it's a very nice solution and can be integrated right away. So yeah, no complaints. Very cool. Yeah, the thing that maybe can get some or could use some improvements is the way you interact with the bot, or what the messages that the bot gives you, or because you're now showing like the ID, right? When you show your Discord ID. And like if you didn't say it was my Discord ID, I had no ID idea that this was my ID.
Yeah, so currently in development, we need to know, like for explaining it, how we are identifying a particular user who's not exploiting the system. That is why it's on like front end. And other than that, it was only on our backend server. And oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, we hosted this on a Linux server on Azure VM. So like Azure, we made a VM of Linux server, and that is where it was hosted. And it actually ran out of our balance like this morning. So currently it's hosted on my VM for Linux. But yeah, it works on cloud. So the bot can be up 24/7 at all times without any issues or like someone having to log into
Okay.
the bot.
Okay. So the user interface would normally not show the ID of yourself or.
Yeah. Like once we get it like finalized, we won't be showing the ID, and we'll obviously improving some messages that the user, basically the user interface, how the user interacts, and how like instead of putting it like open call, we can also use it in DMs. So that is something we can figure out with Discord bot.
Yeah. Cool, guys. Really nice. Well done. Anyone else?
No, very neat.
Yeah, this is another NFT like from 8 days ago, different metadata. So this also has plenty logo and some sparkly eyes.
Nice.
All right. Thank you, Udit, for the presentation.
Thank you, Bhuvi. Yeah.
Good work. So we'll move on to the final presentation for the day. I would like to invite the team who's worked on Plenty DeFi notification bot by team whatever. Okay, I like the name. So team, over to you now.
Yeah. Hey, Purvi. Let me just share my screen.
Hi, Ashish.
Yeah.
You can present your screen and stuff.
Yeah, just a moment.
Okay.
I'll be leaving the Zoom for a moment because I had a new laptop, so it's asking for permission. So I'll be joining in just a second. Yeah.
Sure, no worries.
Meanwhile, Dipanshu, you got dropped off, right? Are you still there? You're saying something and got dropped off. No worries. He's back.
Let me share my screen. There. Is my screen visible to you guys? The presentation time?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. I'll start. So hey guys, good evening. Today we are presenting a Plenty DeFi notification bot by Team Whatever. So the solution which we created was to provide an ease of tracking Plenty, usual transactions that are related to Plenty, and which is through a Discord bot, because crypto community is very active on Discord itself. So that was the key idea of it. But the problem statement is because to track DeFi activities, like it's very difficult to keep track of it all times, and you have to have something like there are many, like DeFi is working 24/7 and humans need sleep, they need to do other things too. So it gets very difficult. Thus, we wanted to provide a source that only useful transactions are seen through a Discord notification bot, and you could keep track of it with minimum effort from a human perspective. The activities which we were supporting were buying Plenty in large amounts when someone adds a liquidity in a quite large amount, and tracking several supply of X Plenty was the third thing. So again, that we created the solution using by tracking the AMM liquidity contracts, Plenty contract and X Plenty contract, namely. The features that were implemented in the bot was to support like multiple, so you can sync in multiple services or multiple services. What we mean over here, that the transactions for X Plenty, the transactions for Plenty, adding liquidity, and the supply of X Plenty. So you can support all of these services in sync, which would work 24/7. and there would be all details like transaction hash, the amount, and the pool that would be used for any transaction. So those were the key features out there implemented. So a screenshot of our solution which we did. Here you can see like whatever transaction. So there's a bot transaction with the amount over there, then whatever the pool it used, and by the user which initiated the transaction. Then there was another transaction which was for supply increased, and whatever the current at year supply was. There might be also other transactions, but in screenshot, like adding liquidity would also might have been there, but in this transaction we can't see. In this screenshot we can't see, but it's also very similar that you get the pool which you are adding to liquidity to, and whoever added and the transaction hash of it. So yeah, my bad. Yeah. So how does it actually work is we are using mainnet contracts of Plenty, namely Plenty AMM contracts, Xplenty and Plenty mainnet contracts. We fetch the details using TZK API calls, and we relay these data to Discord bot to show us in the Discord channel itself. So moving on to the future work of it that we wanted to. So currently you'll have to deploy the code itself, and code is not the best way to deploy a Discord server, a Discord bot on a server. So we need to work on that. Maybe something more user friendly, like what Me6 does or whatever the existing Discord bots do. But it would take an infrastructure upgrade, is what we felt while we were looking into it. We were not sure. That's why we didn't actually made it that easier to get it done. And the second point was that we can add and update more relevant points that are related to Plenty users, so that they are being updated of all the Plenty activities which are out there of the ecosystem, which could include like farming and governance activities too. So yeah, quite short, and that's wrap from myself. Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah, let's go to Q&A. Bernd, Anmol. Anshu, yeah.
Okay, like could you also like share the repository and like the minimum threshold is like 3,000 Plenty? How is it?
Yeah. It was, so we kept it 3,000 for now, 300 for now. But it was like I'll share the code. So but it's always changeable. So I'll just okay. I'll quit it out. So we use this Python Replit. So it's written in Python itself. So here, if you see, you can. So it's basically it's the code for buy notifications out here, and you can change the range of it. So that would be over here. So if you change the amount to 3,000 or 300 or whatever you want, even we can take custom user inputs if we want. So that's the idea, that you can change the thresholds. But since we wanted to test it out, that's why we kept it as 300 for now. But similarly, you can keep the transaction amount for other two, like when you're getting the ad liquidity data, and also when you are getting the data of whatever supplies you want, the like circulating supply you want. That's the idea.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, it also must be running right now. Yeah, you can see. So it's still running, but I mean, it stops after 2 days. So you need infrastructure to keep it running always, because it uses free servers for now. So that's kind of an issue. Yeah.
It does look really good, man. It looks
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Useful. Also immediately implementable.
Yeah, probably like a feature that you could do is like also add the aliases of addresses. Like I think the TZKT also supports, you could get the alternative name of the address, something like
The
that.
alias
So,
of it.
yeah.
I mean, we were not sure, but yeah, it would be a nice thing instead of seeing these weird addresses out there.
Sometimes, some guys have,
Yeah.
That's just like a suggestion, if you work on
Yeah.
it in the near future.
Yeah, sure.
So any progress on relaying the same information on Twitter, Telegram, and all that? Or currently it's only for Discord?
Yeah, I mean, we kept it only to Discord, but I think it can be because the data source has been sorted out. The logic is always there, so you can do it for whatever medium you want. That shouldn't be a big issue.
Okay, nice.
Very nice. Like Are there any other things that you wanted to implement that you didn't get the time for, or did you figure out new kinds of data representations while you were developing it? Or
so we wanted to also add governance. So basically, governance proposals out there, and then the Discord itself, and then you can maybe vote from it, or at least see what the proposals were coming out of it. But we were not able to find any governance proposal data on the TZKT itself. So it was posted on IPFS. That's what we found, and we'll have to web scrape it, like as and when they come. And also the quantity was very less on plenty itself, but it can be another useful thing which we'd want to add on the governance things.
yeah, so also the gauge voting, Amul, Anshu, it can also be done in this bot, right?
Yeah, those kind of things.
Yeah, super cool. The opportunity or the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, it just brings more utility to the Discord server as well. So we have now a cool way to reward people, now a way to give more context. So yeah, great stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks. No, thank you.
Nice. All right. Let's go to the next steps. Dipanshu, are you there? You were saying something and you were cut off. So let's spend like 2 minutes on that and then conclude the meeting. Yeah. I mean, yeah, were you saying something that time, or let's wrap it up?
No, I wasn't saying anything.
Okay. All right.
Sir, it was,
sounds good. So,
sir, it was us who were cut off. Actually, my internet connection went off during that 3 token thing.
Oh, sorry, not Dipanshu. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Aditya. Like, I mean, you can continue. Let's spend a couple of minutes for
sir, we
closing
were in
your
Q&A session actually. So if any more questions were there, we can address that.
Got it. Do we have any questions? Bernd and Om for Aditya.
No, I'm good. I think we discussed most of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Like, everybody have put good efforts in building all these projects. It was amazing. So let's have some final words from our judges, Om and Bernd. Yeah, let's start with Om.
Yeah, I mean, very nice projects, guys. I think, all of you have put a lot of work and efforts in this, and impressed by all the projects and also their use cases. They are not just random projects. They all have their own use case where they can be utilized. So I'm really looking forward to, working with you all to not stop here, but also to take them forward and help you guys to build more and see how we can, collaborate and help you to further increase the scope of your projects, right? So yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Those who are new to Web3, welcome. You're going to stay here. And those who are, yeah, I mean, the kind of quality that all the projects have is really good. And anybody who wants to make switch to Web3 or something like that, let us know. We will, work with you. We'll sit with you. If you want, I mean, if you're open, we are also going to hire you. So there's going to be tons of opportunity even after this, and obviously including the prize money. And I look forward to, again, working with all of you to take all the projects further ahead. But yeah, thanks a lot for everyone involved in this hackathon, all the participants, our entire team, the Tezos India team, and everybody who made this possible. So it's just a beginning, and we'll keep doing more and bigger stuff like this as we go.
Thanks a lot.
So for us, this also was a new experience. This doing a hackathon. We of course Tezos India, of course, did multiple hackathons before, but yeah, great learning experience from our side as well. And looking back at it, like a year ago, there was basically no DeFi on Tezos, and in a year time, now there is an ecosystem that is growing. People are joining, people are experimenting, so it's very cool to see that growth happening. And yeah, would love for all members to keep engaging with this growing Tezos ecosystem, because it's a great moment to jump in, and before you know it, you are the expert or you are a DeFi wizard. Look at look at our DeFi wizard Anmol, who joined the fellowship program of Tezos India, the first one, and he now is a valuable team member of the Tezos team, or valuable member of the Tezos team, and plenty. So yeah, it can really go really quick. So you join a hackathon, you join a team, and before you know it, you are an expert, and people ask you for help on how do they get started in Web3. So yeah, it's a very vibrant, exciting ecosystem to be part of, and hopefully this is your entry, and more growth is coming. Thanks for joining, and looking forward to seeing the next steps.
Thanks, Bernd. All those are great words. Yeah, and finally, to conclude, I would say that whatever projects that you have built, judges will evaluate, and we will be coming up with final results and further details to you soon. Like our team will, Tezos India and our team will get in touch with you guys over emails and announce you the final results and etc. All that stuff, right? So that's that. Thanks everybody who has joined this demo day and who has made this event bigger. So thanks a lot. Thanks Bernd, Anmol, Anshu, and all the participants, and Vaishnavi from Tezos India. Thanks a lot. That's the end.
Thank you. Peace out,
Thanks,
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye.